Retro Rob plays everything.
Hey, Rob here, and it's haul video time. If you haven't noticed, I've changed the scenery a little bit. If you like it, please let me know. If you don't like it, let me know as well, because I'm definitely willing to change it back if you are not real comfortable with this. What if I touch you there? Are you comfy? Huh? That is so creepy. Hope I remember to edit that out, but I probably won't. Alright, let's start talking about stuff I picked up over the last couple weeks. Firstly, my copy of Old School Gamer showed up, and I don't care for the cover very much, but of course the contents, as always, are pretty good. I'm not going to go through it too much, just in case they're super sensitive about you know, the contents of their magazine. I can kind of understand that. Fair disclosure, I don't get this for free at all, but they have been on the podcast before, so I kind of know the guys from Old School Gamer, and I think, I don't know, we might have shown up a couple times. Not that I know of, actually. We might have shown up on some of their, like, magazine videos or something, because we were at MGC, but I'm not 100% sure, because I haven't watched them. But anyway, I do like the magazine quite a bit. That's the only reason why I mention it. And it is in. I can't wait. I love my Old School magazines. Of all sorts, by the way. Retro, all of them. But anyway, that's a pretty good one, too. Might want to check it out. Again, not a paid endorsement. So, next we've got Parodius for the Famicom. There we go. It's the only Famicom game I've picked up in a really long time. It is obviously a lot like Gradius, because it's kind of a rip on it, with a comedic tone. It's by Konami. It is really, really pretty good. And I've mentioned it a few times on the show before, obviously, or on this station before the show. The Retro Rob Show. The Retro Rob Hour with Retro Rob. Hi. Yep, gonna be one of those weeks. Next, Super Mario 3D World, which was a recommendation from viewers for the Wii U. Because I did finally pick up a Wii U recently, and I was looking for interesting games to play on them. More on the Wii U front. Runbow. I got it for $8. I figure that's a pretty good deal, right? Right? Anyway, I'd heard of it before. I think it had like a limited popularity, and I almost bought it originally for the PC and then never did. So hopefully it's good. Hope so. Next, this is funny because I picked this up and then somebody on the station recommended it right away. And this is Vertical Force for the Virtual Boy, which is a top-down shooter. So I really like this kind of game, and I heard about it and grabbed it. This is, of course, the Japanese version. I don't think it was released in the US. Anyway, it is complete. Has the cartridge, has all the packaging. Very happy to have this, and pretty darn excited to play it. Have you played it? Let me know what you think of it. There we go. Next. Oh no, that'll give something away. That's going to give something away. I don't want to give it away. Top Gun! Fire at Will for the PlayStation. Should be holding these up a little bit longer. And there we go. Complete. Not a terribly good game, I've heard. But I'm willing to try it because it was like $2. Next, we got a couple of PlayStation 2 games that I picked up and realized I already had. We got Ty the Tasmanian Tiger and Jack and Daxter. And I'm holding them up at the same time because both of them are things you've seen at least once before on the station. They were cheap though. I'm fine with it. What I'll probably do is throw it in when I sell one of my PlayStations. I've got like 5 PlayStation 2s. So one of them's going to go up on eBay, maybe 2. That's just too many. You can have too many PlayStations. I'm just saying. You can definitely have too many PlayStations. I've kind of already given it away. This is already sitting here, so I might as well go with this guy next. Next thing I picked up, I've got another one coming too, is of course a PSP. I've had these before. This isn't like my first PSP or anything. In fact, I've had scads of them before. I used to hack them a lot and use them as emulation devices. I like the PSP. I think it's I think that its selection of games is really excellent. It has a lot of really great games for it. I don't like the analog slidey sticks very much. This is not my kind of controller, and I don't really like split D-pads as I've mentioned before. But again, it does have some great stuff, and it's fun to hack around with, so I picked this one up. I also did order a new protective case for it because if you look, this thing's really beat up. So I'm going to turn this one into a silver one. And this was a Goodwill auction. I think I got it for 30 bucks, and I'm pretty happy. You know what? It might have been 50. To be honest, it might have been 50. Anyway, it came with a Batman UMD. It came with Namco Museum. Too bad no boxes, right? Came with SOCOM. I used to play this a lot, 2-player with my brother-in-law. Fun game. Next we have Burnout, and this is great. It's almost just like the PS2 version, but it isn't quite there, but it's enough that I said wow when I first played it. And I did play it on here just recently, and I thought it was pretty darn good. We've got M+, which is one of the better platformers out there. It's very basic and bare bones, but a lot of fun. It actually started out as a Flash game, as I recall. We got Spider-Man, which I'll never play. Probably put that up for sale if it's worth anything. Next, Star Wars Battlefront, which is a fabulous, fabulous game. I have nothing bad to say about it. And then we've got Star Wars Battlefront Renegade. Ooh, Renegade Squadron? Yeah, Renegade Squadron, which I haven't heard of. I was probably out of the PSP by then. I'm guessing this came with something because of the way it's boxed. Next, Little Big Planet, which is also a great game, and I've definitely played it on this. I like the Vita version a little bit better, but I'm not kicking this one to the curb, I'll tell you that. So, there's a bunch of stuff for the PSP. Next, I've got Kingdom Hearts, which I picked up for about 10 bucks. It is complete in box. Here's the front of the box. Here's the back of the box. Here it is for the other camera, real quick. And, of course, it has the instructions and the manual. Very nice. Sorry I am so sweaty. It is hot as heck in here. And I'm not running anything. I mean, I turned everything off before this video. And it's still just baking in Wisconsin right now. Next, Fast Food 64. And this is complete in box. This, of course, was never really officially released. This is an aftermarket one that came out years later. I picked it up off of eBay. It came super late. And let me know if you want the link to this. I'll give you a link to the eBay guy that sells these. But anyway, I'll probably do an unboxing and a gameplay on this one on Sorry Atari once my once my Jaguar shows up. Will it ever show up? Who knows? Anyway, next we got some Atari stuff, which I know you guys like a lot based on comments. 4 games that I already had before. First one is Street Racer. This is a great video. Thumbs up for me messing up all the time. There we go, Street Racer. Next, we got a Grand Prix, which is a weird Activision racing game. Not one of their best, by the way, but I did play it a lot when I was a kid. Because as I mentioned, you only got like 1 game a month back then, and you know, you just played it. Space Invaders, great version of Space Invaders. Must have 100 of these. No, but I do have like 5 or 6. Frogger, same thing, got a lot of these. But it's a really good game. This is a really good version of Frogger. I've really got to start getting more box stuff. Okay, next, this is... Wait, there's one more thing before I go out into the box. There we go, we got some Crash Bandicoot for the Game Boy Advance. It was like $2, I think. Not a bad deal, in my opinion. Next we have a whole bunch of controllers. I bought these in a lot. This entire lot was about 50 bucks off of Shop Goodwill. Every once in a while, I can get a good haul of Atari stuff, and this is no exception. That said, They were all sold as Atari controllers. This one isn't really an Atari controller. This is one of the reasons why I bought the haul, and I had no idea it wasn't actually an Atari one. It's actually, I believe it's TI, Texas Instruments, as I recall, is the one that has 2 joysticks attached to one DB9. But anyway, they do make this for the Atari 2600. That said, I think this is more rare. So, might be worth more. Doesn't matter. I don't collect for the TI. I'll either give it to one of my friends who has one, or I will sell it on eBay. Neat controllers, though. Too bad. I mean, I could mod them into Atari controllers, but I'm pretty sure I'd be destroying somebody's day, so I don't want to do that. Do I want to show these next? No, I'll show these last. Next, there was an Atari 2600 power connector. I'm pretty sure that's a 2600 because the end. It could be one of the earlier Pong-based machines as well, power supplies. Hard to tell them apart really, except by the draw. But anyway, these are actually worth, you know, like 10 bucks a piece. I didn't really get it for this because they don't always work. In fact, very often when I get them off of Goodwill, they don't work. This one is for an Atari 5200. And that one came with this too. I do have a couple Atari 5200s, so it's useful. Next, we have an Atari 7800 controller. Not bad. It's not in super great shape, but it is definitely usable, and it looks pretty decent. So that came with it. I don't mind that. Next, we have some of the things I was interested in. This particular one's kind of broke up, but this is a set of paddles, and it probably needs repair. There is a piece that busts loose in these sometimes that will make that noise, and they'll work perfectly fine. However, sometimes it's because they opened it up because the controller wasn't working, and what happens is they break the little post in here. So it could be either one. It kind of worries me because I think both of them rattle, so they might have tried to repair this one, and that's why it makes that noise, in which case these are shot. Not a big deal because there are a couple more in here. I tend to use these at MGC and at shows because people have seen the Atari controllers a lot already. They see the Atari 2600 because there's a lot of those on sale, but if you put a paddle game on there, they don't see that as often. They'll tend to walk up and try playing it. So I like having a lot of paddles around in case one breaks. I don't want people to feel bad. And this way I have a whole bunch of them. So there's some more. I mean, that's what? 3 sets of paddles. Now, here is one of the things that I bought this lot for. I'll show you one, and there's 2 of these. There's a pair of these. These are the paddles for racing, for Indy 500. And these are a little bit rare to come by. They're not like rare, really. Oops, sorry, here, I'll put them up, put them right side up for you. But as you can see, there's only one of them attached to each. It's because Indy 500 was a 2-player game. So you'd have one of these each for it. These weren't produced a whole lot. I mean, they were produced. There's enough of them produced, but they weren't produced a whole lot, and I see them a lot less, and this is my first pair of these that I've had since probably the 80s. So I'm really happy to have these. One of the reasons I picked up the lot. Next, we've got a couple of your standard Atari 2600 controllers. One of these is a liar. Can you tell which one? Yeah, this guy was made in the 2000s. That's not a real Atari 26. Well, I mean it is, but it's not. And it's made by it's got real Atari branding on it, but it's not a real Atari 2600 controller. Whereas this, of course, is the original one. So hopefully this guy works. I'm always happy to get more of these though, because they do fail, and I have lag behind in repairing them. Now finally, what the whole lot was actually about was these 2 guys here, and these are the Power Stick, and this is actually the last thing of this haul. The Power Stick was made by the guys who were making the Amiga. The Amiga was a 1200. No, 1200 was the later one. The 1000. The original Amiga 1000. This was part of how they were trying to finance building the Amiga. That said, these controllers are freaking great. I had a pair of these when I was a kid, and I never ran into them again until now. I mean, I've run into them and tried to win them on auctions, but I've never seen them in person until recently. They also made these in tan, which is kind of interesting. There's another color scheme for them too. I think it was for the Commodore, that version of it. But, you know, they'll work interchangeably. I can plug this into my Commodore 64 over there, no problem. But anyway, this is like the big thing this haul. It's the thing I was like really super excited about, and really love getting my hands on them. Hope they work. Haven't tested them yet. Alright, that is it for this haul. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more. If you got any questions, of course, don't be afraid to ask them down below. And I'll see you in a couple days. Bye!
Retro Rocks Gaming Videos.